Hello lovelies, in this video we're going to be looking at variation and mutation for your GCSE biology. Now this is a fascinating, really deep and very varied topic, so I hope you find this video really interesting.
Variation and mutation. Variation is the differences in characteristics between individuals in a population. A population is a group of the same species in a particular area. So for example, all my cats at the bottom, they are all cats, so they're all the same species because they can breed with each other. If they're all in a particular area, they would be a population. What causes variation? So different individuals are different from each other because they have different genes that they've inherited from their parents. This happens through sexual reproduction and meiosis, like we've looked at. They can also be different due to genetic mutation or random changes to their DNA. They can also be affected by their different environments. So for example, different light intensity or mineral ions in the soil, if you're a plant, are going to affect how you grow and therefore what you look like. Or for humans, as an example, the diet or the exercise or the pollution that you're exposed to or the amount of UV light you've been exposed to, all of those are part of our environments and they can change characteristics about ourselves as well. Often it's a combination of these. So not only genetics, so inherited genes or mutation, but also the environment as well. That makes us who we are and makes us different from other organisms. So let's have a look at some examples of variation and also its causes. So some examples of variation that's caused by genetics: your hair colour, your eye colour, your blood type, whether you have attached or hanging earlobes. All of these are the result of genes and most likely the genes that you've inherited from your parents. When we talk about hair colour and eye colour, we talk about natural hair colour and eye colour, the ones you were born with. Some variation that can be caused by the environment include things like scars because of an accident or something that's happened to you in your environment. Your language or accent is going to be determined by where you were brought up in the world. Your hair length could be due to whether you've cut it or not, could be due to certain effects of your diet as well. And then flower colour in plants can change due to the pH of the soil that they are in. This is a specific example for a couple of different species of plants, not all plants though. Some variation can be caused by both genes and the environment interacting together. So height is one of them. So people will vary in height, and this is partly to do with genes. So the genetics that you get from your parents, if you have tall parents, then obviously they have potential to pass you on the genes for being tall, but then your diet can play a role. So if you don't get the right nutrition as a child to enable you to grow to that full height that your genes have, then you may not grow as tall as your parents. Mass is another one. So that's again to do with genes, but again, your diet and then the amount of exercise that you get and will do during your life is going to determine your mass. So it can change and it's not fixed just by genes and it's not fixed just by the environment. Flexibility is another one. So people can be very flexible. And sometimes that's because they have genes. Maybe they've got a gene that helps them have kind of less collagen, which gives them that more flexibility. But also you can become more flexible and improve your flexibility with practice. So the types of exercise, the types of practice you do, stretching every day, can change your flexibility. So therefore it's not just something that's determined by genes and fixed, it can be a combination of both. A mutation is a random change to the base sequence of DNA that makes up a gene. They're natural, random, and can happen continuously, which means all the time. Mutations happen randomly, but increasing the chance of them happening can be done by exposing your DNA to ionizing radiation, so UV rays, X-rays, gamma rays, or chemicals like the tar in cigarette smoke, which is why there is a link between cigarette smoke or smoking and lung cancer. Most mutations have no effect on the protein whatsoever, and they only alter it slightly, but not enough to change its structure or function. So we don't even know that they've happened. But sometimes mutations can lead to changes in gene expression, changes in proteins to make faulty proteins, and cancer, which we also have already looked at. genetic variation, so variation in your DNA or genes, or the alleles that you have for those genes, is caused by mutation. So what we just looked at. Although most mutations don't cause a change in the phenotype, as we said, if one does, and the change makes the organism more likely to survive in their current environment, then this is more likely, obviously, that it will then be passed on to their offspring. So if the allele or the mutation that changes the allele provides that organism with a characteristic that makes them more adapted or more suited to their environment, and therefore they're more likely to pass this on to their offspring. This is how small changes caused by mutation have slowly created variation in species through natural selection. This can eventually result in evolution.
Ouch! This is why in some videos I explain scratches.